Joining us now, Niagara Regional Police Chief Bryan MacCulloch. Bryan, welcome to the program today.
Thanks, Mike. Glad to be here.
Bryan, great sight just the other day, cavalcade of Niagara Regional Police cruisers at the hospital. What was the message there?
The message that we wanted to deliver is that we are extremely appreciative of the efforts of our healthcare professionals who are doing extraordinary work under extraordinary circumstances, and that we stand in solidarity with them.
Your officers still out there on the roads, still out there doing their jobs. Do you have concerns for their safety, and what kind of precautions have you taken to ensure that your officers are staying safe on the job?
I think at this time, Mike, we're all concerned with regards to COVID-19, right, and the spread, and we're doing all we can to inform our officers and our civilian members of how they can prevent the spread of COVID, whether it's through proper hygiene, and our officers have personal protective equipment as well, N95 masks that we've all come to learn a lot about over the last few weeks, hand sanitizer. We're doing some screening of calls that are coming in through our communications unit so that our officers have some situational awareness as to what they're potentially walking in on, whether somebody's displaying any symptoms, et cetera.
Some disturbing news out of Buffalo earlier this week, 14 firefighters testing positive for the COVID-19 virus, and many more needing testing. Very difficult to understand that these firefighters, and in your case, police officers, are out there and could be exposing themselves to these viruses and bringing it back to the station.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important for us, and we really try to stress every opportunity we can the importance of physical distancing where appropriate. And that's the unfortunate part with our profession and the healthcare profession. Oftentimes that doesn't, the situation doesn't permit that physical distancing when we have to apprehend somebody or arrest them under different situations, right? So again, it's that having the latex gloves on, having the N95 mask, the goggles, and again, immediately afterwards, disinfect and wash up.
Chief, the Niagara Regional Police just welcomed 15 new recruits who have graduated, and I understand you had to do something different for the very first time in that swearing-in ceremony.
It's a big event for not only them, but for their families, and this is the first time that we've not been able to invite the families to it. But we did create a link that allowed them to live stream in on the ceremony. And of course, we were maintaining the physical distancing, which is so important at this point in time. And normally I get the opportunity to shake their hand, present them with their badge individually, and have a few welcoming words for them in joining our service. So we still try to make it as quaint as possible and provide that messaging, but the handshakes and the actual handing them the badge personally, I wasn't able to do. But we'll make it right for them and their families when this situation's all over.
Looking at the current crisis, Niagara-on-the-Lake, I think, was the first town to declare a state of emergency, and to also announce earlier this week that they will be enforcing some bylaws that have been enacted during this state of emergency. What is the NRP's role in backing up the enforcement of those bylaws, if there is any NRP role?
So what we're looking for with our municipalities, and we've received tremendous support from our community partners, is really a layered approach, and where it's appropriate for the municipalities and their bylaw enforcement teams to go out and first validate whether or not the complaint is in fact legitimate, is to educate and try and gain compliance through that education. And where they can't gain that compliance, whether it's a business that's operating, that's a non-essential business that continues to operate in defiance of the order, and they can't get compliance, then by all means give us a call, and then we'll attend. And if enforcement is necessary, then we'll do so.
Thank you very much for your time today, Chief Bryan MacCulloch. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
That's Chief Bryan MacCulloch of the Niagara Regional Police joining us today on the Source COVID-19 Niagara Update. We'll be back with more in a moment.